Unity, reunion, parade, cookout, line dance party, backyard, barbecue, fish fry, vegan soul, black business, food truck, networking, outdoor, concert, music, festival, celebration of the year. Featuring Tidra Moses, Talib Kweli and Jay Walls, Marsha Ambrosius, Common and Pete Rock. Get tickets now at OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
African Diaspora News Channel will be broadcasting live. Join Phil Scott, Vicky Dillard, and Denisha Kay from C-Bus. Get your tickets today.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my 2 books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
I'm usually known as Cinderella around Joburg. Biggest misconception about you? Nothing. It's all true. It's all true. It's all true. If you hear something, believe it. Like sometimes I'm just in it because like I want things. I want money. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
But then there's times where this guy's fine. Yeah. Like I want to have fun. Yeah. One thing about this whole industry is that you shouldn't care. I date mostly like married men, because I don't have that type of time for you.
Oh, yeah.
And you are married, you don't have that type of time for me.
His wife, one day I texted him like 11 o'clock, I'm like, okay. She's like, my husband can't control himself, and you as a woman, you can't. I said, Mama, you can't even speak English, like, I can't even understand, like.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. A key location in the history of the transatlantic slave trade and the story of our foundational Black American ancestors. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. We'll visit historic sites like Elmina Castle and Cape Coast, where you'll see with your own eyes what our ancestors endured. You'll also experience modern Ghana, the culture, the people, the food, and the history they carry, giving you a broader understanding of how our story intersects with theirs. If you've ever wanted to deepen your understanding of our history, this is your opportunity. There are 25 spots available, and once those spots are gone, that's it. So don't wait. Secure your spot today by paying a deposit and be part of this unforgettable journey. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
What if I told you there's a news platform made just for us? Unfiltered, unapologetic, telling our stories from Africa and the diaspora. The African Diaspora News Channel app keeps you informed and empowered from wherever you are at any time. Don't just watch, join the movement. Download the app now and stay connected to the news that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. I had a little technical difficulty, but we're here. I couldn't actually get started on the correct time. It is, Wednesday, May 21, and hope everybody's day is going good. I'm not going to, try not to extend what I say too long. Just as you heard Effie on the promo, download the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. That also supports our platform. We would love 10 people to join the app every stream. We've always say that you can do monthly, quarterly, annual, or even lifetime. Lifetime, we have to worry about any price increases or nothing like that, because by January 1 of 2026, we will have a slight increase on the app because, we should have been increased, but we held off a year. So the time to lock in will be now. The Ghana trip, November 14 through 21. We are still 17 spots left. Make sure to jump on that as soon as possible because, later it could be gone, and then you're like, oh, I want to go, and you know how that goes every year. When's the next one? It's the next one. When's the next one? Then we present one. Well, this is the one you can go on, right? So $199 down. You normally put the link in the chat, but if not, it's on the community tab. It's on our app. It's on our website, and I also put a pinned comment after the stream. So appreciate everybody joining us tonight. So we got to talk about President Trump today. President Trump had President Ramaphosa from South Africa and his delegation today at the White House. We knew this was coming when he announced this, and I knew there was going to be some sort of drama. I already knew, because how Trump, every time it's something with him, it's some drama. I mean, I don't know a man that starts that much drama like anybody else. It's entertaining. I give you that much. But, it's one thing to be an entertainer. It's another thing to be a world leader. And President Trump is the leader of America, so he's definitely a world leader, whether people agree with him or not. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time, like I said, with some of my difficulties I had. So I'm going to play some video today. Some of you may have seen it. I watched the whole press conference from beginning to end with what he had in the Oval Office. Normally, I don't even watch that, but I watched it today because I knew he was going to pull something. Now, he's been running around, of course, with his apartheid-era buddy, Elon Musk. Been running around talking about there's a white genocide, the white genocide conspiracy theory. And I appreciate YouTube, actually. Let me give a shout-out to YouTube. Shout out to YouTube for putting that on videos now, that the white genocide conspiracy theory. Thank you, YouTube. That's actually good you're doing that, because it is a straight conspiracy theory. They're putting out so much disinformation. Now, the difference between misinformation and disinformation, right? Disinformation is you intentionally putting out wrong information. It's intentional, right? That's disinformation. Misinformation, you believe what you're putting out is actually right. You're not intentionally doing that. You're thinking it's right what you're saying, but it's wrong, right? So misinformation is that. You just believe it, but it's actually wrong. Disinformation is it's wrong, and you're putting it out there anyway like it's right, okay? So this is a disinformation campaign against South Africa with the white genocide conspiracy theory that's extremely anti-black in nature, right? All right, cool. We know the apartheid era Afrikaner Elon Musk has been peddling this white genocide conspiracy theory on X, and we know white supremacists have been saying this for a very long time. They never talk about a solution to it. Like a solution would be, let's return to the motherland called Europe, and we ain't got to be around anybody that's going to genocide us, right? You know, but they don't want to do that at the same time. They want to lie and get people to, you know, capitulate to what they want, right? So let's go ahead on and start where Trump feel like, ooh, I got you, President Ramaphosa, I got you now. You know, let's go ahead and start with that, and then we'll be cutting into some parts. I'll be stopping it along the way. So let's go ahead on and check this out. And you see what the title is, right? Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and cue this up.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So whatever we want to do, we can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Yes, Honorable Member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Namaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, pa.
The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Pajama and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, come on. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill. Namaza. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa. Shoot to kill. Namaza. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Pa,
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but, I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter. They freak out. It sounds like a genocide over
I can't take it.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross. and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
What you saw, the speech.
Now, before I play that real quick, let's get a little history lesson real quick, because some people think Julius Malema made up that song. Where they in English kill the board. He didn't make that song up. Julius Malema is not the author of that song. Now, the history of that song is during the apartheid era. Now, if I'm saying this wrong, please forgive me, South Africans, because I am an American. Well, the original name of that song is Dibul Ibhunu, okay, which emerged in the 1970s and 80s as part of the liberation songs sung by the anti-apartheid activists, particularly members of the ANC, which President Ramaphosa represent, right? And this arm wing, Mkhonto we Sizwe, right, which they call MK today. They have a party like that. Now, of course, we know what Boer means as an Afrikaner farmer. And they said those songs were used as tools of resistance at that time period, morale building, and solidarity during rallies, protests, and guerrilla warfare training camps. So that song is from the apartheid era. And to tell them they can't sing that song, we as Americans cannot dictate what people sing in their country. Julius Malema was actually taken to court about that song. He was. They filed a case in court, and he was taken to court. I actually seen some of the proceedings, and he had to testify and things like that. The court ruled that song is constitutionally protected under their free speech laws, right? And so he's welcome to sing that song. If the Constitutional Court would have ruled against him, they say, hey, you cannot sing that song unless they come up with a law and say you cannot sing that song, right? That'd be even though we don't have a song similar to that, but that'd be like telling us we can't sing our traditional, Negro spirituals that we had, right? Because, it's offensive to certain people. And we were like, well, that's part of our history. Do we sing it every day? No, but that's part of their history. During apartheid. Apartheid ended, 30 years ago? I mean, not that long ago. You understand what I'm saying? So they've been singing that song. That song is nothing new. It's nothing new. Now, President Trump was like, I got you. I'm going to show everybody these videos. First and foremost, everybody's seen these videos because the head Afrikaner in charge, the apartheid era Afrikaner in charge, Elon Musk, on his page, he kept retweeting it. So we seen all that. You didn't show like some that nobody knew. Everybody knew what Malema was singing. Everybody saw it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I thought when he did that, he was going to show like, Malema and EFF members going on farms, attacking people and say, we're doing this because you're white, or just showing the EFF or whoever just doing stuff and saying, I did this because you're white. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't show anything. That's why if you looked at it in the video, President Ramaphosa kind of laughed about it because they're like, it's actually funny because like, dude, that's not I got you on something. That's not really what it is on that, right? Okay, cool. So President Trump thought he got him. I embarrassed him, y'all. I got him. Oh my Lord, I got him. Now let's go ahead and play the next clip, because some of this stuff Trump is saying is so hypocritical, and I'll get into the hypocrisy of a lot of stuff he's saying, but let's play this.
That were being made. One, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
the farmers are black. The farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess, on a Sunday morning.
Okay, let me stop here right there. All right. So the president is right. The EFF is not going to nobody's farms and taking land. They do not have the right legally in South Africa as a political party to go take anybody's land. They don't. That's why they're talking about the law, in which the law was passed, the land expropriation bill that they have in South Africa, which is similar to our eminent domain laws, right? We have eminent domain here. You can have land right here in America, and the U.S. government, the state or whoever can say, hey, Miss Lady K, I need your house. I need that whole land. Now, what we do here, we say, okay, Miss Lady K, we're going to give you X amount of dollars. That may not be enough for you because you may say, hey, this land been in my family for 80 years. That's not enough money. It's a lot of sentimental value to me. It's not worth what you're trying to give me. But they're like, well, I'm sorry, this is what we're going to give you, right? And so you could feel that even the money they're offering you is not enough. And you could feel that your land was expropriated without proper compensation because they couldn't compensate you enough for your land, right? Now, in their bill, because I looked through it, they can take land and give you money. And in extreme cases, if they discover you gained the land by terrorism, basically you went and basically did what happened to a lot of our ancestors, right? So a lot of our ancestors had land, had homes, had everything. And these people would terrorize black people, run them off their land, and then they occupying the land still to this day that's belong to FBAs. So in their law, they say if they discover that you obtain or your family obtained this land through basic terrorism, we're not going to pay you for it. Why should we pay you money for something that your family stole and you living on land that you stole? But in the law, if you feel the government did not do you right by compensation, you can go to the court and have an appeal process and fight about you being properly compensated for the government taking your land. That's in the law. So all this stuff Trump is saying is really like, just like, how are you the president saying that? Like, don't you, I know you got people around you that read. You ain't got to read everything. Just have enough people around you that read so you can sound like, okay, well, I know. But see, the thing is, if you knew the law and you even kind of read the law they had, first of all, that's a sovereign nation. You can't tell them what to do with their land. Just like they can't come over here and tell us anything. Now, you mentioning the Kill the Boer song. Okay. What if President Ramaphosa come over here and say, you know what? All that N-word talk that y'all be doing over here, that has led to a black genocide. Because look at all the people that have been killed by y'all saying that word. You need to arrest all them people. Because basically Trump was alluding to Julius need to be arrested. Basically. You know what I'm saying? And well, if that's the case, all people that say the N-word in this country need to be arrested then. Because that word is just as violent as what Julius is saying. Because you have thousands upon thousands of bodies. You have discrimination. You have all kind of things that's happened to black people underneath that word. And it's still happening to this day because of that word. It's not that word hurts people or hurts black people. Oh, we say it hurts. No, it's not that the word hurts. The fact is there's still power behind that word through the state. If it was just a word, I mean, shoot, we'll roast you, right? But there are people that have power in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, in your state government, in your police department, in the judge, prosecutors, real estate, banks, all these people that say that word, they're actually looking to harm FBAs in multiple ways. It's just not physical harm, because you can kind of heal up from a punch. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not shot up, you can heal from maybe even somebody hurting your feelings. But somebody, I always say, economically sabotage you, someone's sabotaging your career and all kind of other things. There's multiple ways to harm people. If you want to say what's happening to those farmers is a quote unquote genocide, then what's happening to FBAs in America? Like, nobody in this country has any kind of right to talk about quote unquote genocide of any group of people, and what you're saying what a genocide is, and not looking at FBAs and what's being done to FBAs in America. And not just FBAs, but don't even get me talking about all the other crimes that go on in this country. This country has way more criminality than South Africa any day of the week. Yes, South Africa got problems. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they got crime problems. Yes. Oh, yes. But if I was going to send my child to school, they'll be safer in South Africa than they'll be safer in an American public school. If I send my child to a college in South Africa, they'll be safer than an American college. Every other day, we seeing somebody go and shoot up a school, shoot up a college. But yeah, you want to talk about somebody else's criminality? I wouldn't even get into that kind of talk with him about criminality. When you look at how many people lives are being taken in America every day, and I say people, Americans, it don't matter the color, Americans. We got all this budget for law enforcement, and they don't stop crime. They don't stop crime. They get given billions of dollars to operate, and they don't stop crime. So if they don't stop crime with billions of dollars, South Africa don't have that much resource to. So how you expect them to do something that you're not doing with billions and trillions of dollars given to police departments all over this country? But when you want to stop somebody, you can. Like Diddy. You was ready to stop him, and you did. So you can stop people when you want to. Crime is allowed to go on in this country because they can stop anybody from committing a crime. We know that. But let's continue.
President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You got to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatar jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead.
All right. So right after all of that, they asked Trump about that Qatar. You see how he had a meltdown, right? That was kind of funny in a way, the meltdown, because he is getting a jet from Qatar. And he's saying that the jet is going to be given to the Air Force, right? And it's a lot of national security issues with that to be used for Air Force One. But check this out. It's not really going to be the official Air Force One. It could be donated to President Trump's presidential library after he gets out. And then once it's donated to his presidential library, he can use that jet. Now I say, oh, Trump, you trying to get a free jet? That's why everybody questioned him about this jet. It's not just about the jet being quote unquote given issue. And why would Qatar give America something for free? They want something out of that. Come on. I mean, I wouldn't give nobody a jet, a car, or nothing. I'm not getting nothing out of it. Come on now. You can't be that nice of a guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big controversy about this jet situation. Trump finessing every step of the way, right? He's finessing every step of the way. So he's mad that they keep calling him out about this jet, okay? Because he thought, I got Ramaphosa. Then they hit him on there and pissed him off, and he gets triggered. All right. Now, the next video you're going to see is more so the debunking of this, white genocide conspiracy theory in South Africa. Now, this is going to be I think he's the richest man in South Africa, Johan Rupert. He's a billionaire, okay? So I want you to listen what he has to say. Now, I'm not saying he's on black people's side, but just listen what he has to say.
He was in the youth league with that gentleman. And look how he's changed.
Right.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers.
Okay, but let me stop it. So he was talking about Malema, because Malema gets up on this dude all the time, okay? So that's why originally he started talking about that, Malema. Okay, but let me back it up a little bit. Let me go back right here. Give me a second. So you can catch it right when he starts saying it. Okay, here we go. But let's listen to him. He's kind of soft-spoken.
Go ahead. He was in the youth league with that gentleman. And look how he's changed.
Right.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers. It's across the board. And we need technological help. We need Starlink at every little police station. We need drones. I actually got drones donated for the peace parks to stop elephant and rhino poaching. And his predecessor stopped the importation because he said the United States would spy on us. I mean, US basics, the ridicule. So if you can help us. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. 2 commissioners, a tough mayor. We need your help to stop this awful killing. But it's across the board. What about?
Okay, before I get to that, sister. So even though he's trying to get Starlink inside, because this Johan Rupert wants Starlink there, they're saying, look, we got an issue with Starlink. We're afraid that the United States is going to be using Starlink to spy on us in our country. They're saying that for a reason, right? Because we know the America spies on everybody. Come on. Number 2, the main thing, he said that it's crime in our country across the board. He said it's just not white farmers. It's everybody. Now, I was watching some South African TV and they brought up a good point. Now, the whole thing that Rupert said, which I didn't want to bore y'all with, he was talking about also, he said, look, we got a lot of gangsters and stuff like that, too, in the Western Cape, in Cape Flats, right? Now, Cape Flats is the colored area, right? Now, I did watch a documentary about the Cape Flats. The Cape Flats, I think, from what I saw, it may be a little tougher than O-Block. You know what I'm saying? Man, they ain't playing over there in the Cape Flats, right? I mean, it's some gangsters over there. But they have crime that happens against colored people, Indian people, black people, but they're making it about just the white farmers. Well, what about all the other citizens in South Africa where crime happens to them? So if colored people are killed, is that a colored genocide? Is it a black genocide? Is it an Indian genocide? Or is it just crime? It's crime. Crime is in every nation on earth. And when you have poverty, the more crime. I'm a firm believer of if people are working a job with a decent wage, they don't have time to commit crimes. If you can have your society be middle class, you will have a society of minimal crime. Of course, you're going to have maybe some domestic violence issues. You're always going to have your scammers. That's going to happen. You're still going to have somebody want to commit some crime, but the majority of people in every society, for the most part, are good people. And they're not trying to commit crime. Just like here in America, some people commit crime because, especially how this system do you, I mean, at least from what I know, they don't do you like that in South Africa. This system, when you even get out of prison, they have you so screwed off that it kind of puts you back in a situation where you got to commit crime to get to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this country does not have no right to wag its finger at no other country when we got so many problems in this country. I don't see how you do that, because anybody throughout the world can pull up the statistics on our poverty, on our criminality. They can just look at the news and look at our criminality. And then Trump had the nerve to be trying to show all these different articles of white people getting killed, but he didn't show not a single colored person. He didn't show an Indian person. He didn't show an Asian person. He didn't show a black person. Only the white ones. And then even when President Ramaphosa said, hey, well, you know, majority of the people getting killed in South Africa is actually black, which is true. Everybody agrees with that. There's the statistics agrees with that. He just dismissed that and just only talking about these farmers who are trying to stick to this conspiracy theory, which is wrong. Now, this last sister here, hold on, what Sherelle says, Trump is using the white genocide as a distraction for his and Israel's complicity in Gaza's massacre. Said Pam Bondi has Qatar ties in his getaway jet in the event of a potential war with Iran. Fellow FBAs, please stay safe. Yes, because what Israel is doing, now that, and I don't even get involved with it, but we've seen the video, we've seen the pictures. Why is he even mentioning South Africa? And I agree with Sherelle, that's a distraction. Because beyond with you, Netanyahu is a war criminal. You don't, listen, there's rules to that. You can't do what Netanyahu is doing. And really, it's not just the United States. The whole world is allowing it to happen. But hey, I don't get involved with that too much because that's not my, my issue. I'm gonna stick to our issues, right? Or diaspora issues. But let's go with this last sister had to say.
That we are a violent nation.
Let me back this up.
But it's across the board. It's not only white farmers. It's across the board. And we need technological help. We need Starlink at every little police station. We need drones. I actually got drones donated for the peace parks to stop elephant and rhino poaching. And his predecessor stopped the importation because he said the United States would spy on us. I mean, US basics, the ridicule. So if you can help us. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. 2 commissioners, a tough mayor. We need your help to stop this awful killing. But it's across the board.
About it, that we are a violent nation, for a number of reasons, and we're not condoning anything. But also, if you go into the rural areas where black majority are, you would see women, elderly, being raped, being killed, being murdered. And these are black elderly women that would be found throat slits, raped multiple times, and all of that. And the problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime. And we think that we are here to say, how do we, both nations, work together to reset, to really talk about investment, but also help us in how we can have the technology and everything that is needed, President, to really address the levels of crime that we have now.
All right. So the sister at the end talked about, look, hey, in a rural area, it sounds like there's a lot of crime in the rural area. You see, in the rural area, this was happening to black people in the rural areas, right? And so it sounds like South Africa needs to invest in their law enforcement in the rural area. It sounds like they need a heavy police presence in the rural area, no different than they have in Sandton, right? When you in Sandton, and those of you who've been to Sandton, that's a very rich area in Johannesburg. Law enforcement is around, okay? Well, they need to have law enforcement around all the different places. It's just that simple. So they maybe need to invest more in law enforcement, recruit more law enforcement. That's what it sounds like. Also, they may need to come up with some laws to make people afraid to commit certain crimes, with, different jail time. The reason why certain people don't commit crime in the United States because it's in football numbers they give you for prison. So you ain't really trying to do some things in this country because of that reason. And that's more so a deterrent for some, at least for some people, it's a deterrent. So that's the only thing I think the United States could tell them. But we have way more crime here. Way more crime here. There's crime in South Africa, you better believe it. But we have way more crime. So how are we gonna wag our fingers at anybody about their crime? How? Do you know, like when you go to other countries, they start asking you, why do y'all Americans walk around or allow people to walk around with those guns all the time? Like, what is that? You know, a lot of people in other countries look at us like we're primitive. Like, why are you walking around like that? Why? What is the purpose of that? They say, listen, I understand the police and military and whatever. Why are you walking around like that? Why does people want access to that kind of weaponry? And I always tell people, look, it's enshrined in the Constitution of the United States. I can tell you my community is not the one that enshrined it. I'll say it's the folks. They enshrined that in the Constitution, and they feel that, you know, like that gun is a part of them. Most people that's responsible gun owners don't go do bad things, but unfortunately we have people that do a whole lot of bad things in this country. And I'm a firm believer. I think that people should be able to defend their homes, but I don't believe you should have access to certain type of weaponry. No, I never believed in that. I don't care. People can argue with me all day. Look, argue with whoever you want to argue with, not with me, because I'm not going to argue with you. It's just my opinion. I mean, I'm a firm believer of that. You know, hey, you know, if someone try to break in your home, I mean, everybody know the best weapon is a shotgun. You know, you point in the general direction and let it go. You know, I mean, it's going to hit something, usually, right? If you out there hunting, you got a hunting license, I believe you should be able to get a certain type of weaponry for hunting. But outside of some of that, you know, some sort of handgun, shotgun, stuff like that, I'm a firm believer say, what do you need an AR-15 for? I've always said that. Because the AR-15 is the response to the AK-47. What do you need any of those weapons for? Are you going to war? If not, go sign up for the U.S. military. You can go shoot them all you want. That's why I tell people, go to the Army. You can shoot whatever weapon you want over there, right? But, you know, even some of our people are stuck on that. You know, it's like, oh, well, we need this and we need that. And I would like to say something about some of that, you know, like, some of y'all do that and y'all just showing out, but I never really see y'all, you know, let me not say that. Let me be careful. I know what platform I'm on. My thing is this. If you're going to make a difference in this country, at least America, economics, unity, you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that our unity is stronger than any kind of atomic bomb. It is. That's why they want to keep us not unified, fighting each other constantly over stupidity, right? But Trump and, you know, Elon Musk and all them other ones, you can't talk. You cannot talk. Then they try the same propaganda in America. Black people commit the majority of the crime, majority of the murders. Like, black people don't commit the majority of the murders. Now, the difference with black people is that we are overcharged and over-sentenced. I'll be seeing stories of them. Like, I saw a story the other day. I was freaked out. One of theirs, because, you know, you got this thing about always doing things to children, did a horrible thing to a child. He was charged, you know, with what he did for the child, against the child. He was supposed to be sitting a long time in jail. He ended up getting convicted, but when he got sentenced to probation. He gets sentenced to probation. See, that's what happens to them. They get lighter sentences, charges reduced, charges dropped, and they're back out on the street terrorizing again. Black folk, it can be your first offense. I'm not even talking about something sick like that. It can be your first offense on something not that big of a deal, and they want to throw you in jail like you're a career criminal. And you like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the brother Rodney Hinton. He ain't have no issues on his record or nothing like that, but yet he can't get a bail. They got people that done some horrible things and they still let them get a bail. You know, I mean, shoot. You look at even the situation with Diddy. They wouldn't even let him have a bail. Diddy was like, look, I give y'all $50 million. I give y'all whatever y'all want. I just want to just put me on house arrest. Let me sit at the crib. They're like, nope, Diddy, you not getting out. You sitting in prison. Talking about, he's going to maybe intimidate witnesses. Well, if he's on ankle monitor and y'all monitoring all his communications, I'm pretty sure you'll monitor everybody else is around him too. I don't think he'd be just moving around like talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got people that's made things happen from jail. When people are powerful, they do that. You heard the stories of people behind bars getting people knocked off in the outside the jail. People in jail got cell phones. Like if Diddy was really on that, you think he couldn't call nobody behind bars? They got prisoners streaming on freaking TikTok. So if prisoners are streaming on TikTok, that means if Diddy was trying to do something like that, he could have got a phone and did that. Because them prison guards don't get paid enough. Diddy could give them some money. So I think Diddy should have had a bail. I think he should have had house arrest. And then he just stayed at his crib to, until he, of course, it should be stipulations. Hey, you can't contact nobody. You can't, no drugs, no baby oil. No baby oil, Diddy. You cannot, you are banned from baby oil. You banned from that. You're banned from Astroglide. You're banned from all of it if you want to stay home. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you could have had Diddy literally buy him a spot right next to the jail. He can afford to do that. Well, you can walk in there and check on him. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Diddy's guilty or innocent because he haven't been judged yet, but I'm just saying that I've seen these folks do some heinous crimes, and they get bail or they get a slap on the wrist. And I'm like, really? It's just horrible, extremely horrible. What happens in this society is extremely horrible. You say, what you say, smammers in the chat? What are y'all talking about? What happens in the chat? Okay, I don't know. You say no baby oil. Yeah. I mean, Diddy took the baby oil thing to a whole different level, ladies and gentlemen, a whole different level. But yeah, we don't have no room to talk about nobody's crime. We really don't. I mean, if anybody, somebody should help us with our crime. What you gonna do? Help South Africa about their crime? But like they said, poverty, the issue in South Africa, and I say this is the issue throughout the world. Men need a job. Men don't need free time. When men have free time on their hands, that's when crimes are committed. Let's go back to the migrants. You had a bunch of military-age males running around with nothing to do. What'd they start doing? Committing crimes. Why? Because they're not at work. I'm a firm believer, them migrants that came over here, they shouldn't be able to step foot in America unless you had a job for them where they working 10, 12 hours a day. Because any man who worked 10, 12 hours a day, no, you don't got time for no crime. You just want to get off, come home, take a shower, get something to eat, maybe watch a little TV or whatever, and go yourself to bed because you're tired from the day. And you got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. I have not seen career criminals work 12-hour shifts. Just never seen it. I've never seen it. You say there's trolls in the... What do you mean there's a troll in the chat? Who's a troll? I want to know who the troll is now. Who's trolling? Can y'all tell me who's trolling? Because I'm interested now. Who's trolling? Can y'all mention who's trolling? I'm just so interested to find out myself. Because whoever's trolling, they actually paid to troll. So that's a dedicated troll when you pay to troll. So who did that? Yeah, somebody said somebody was trolling and said, I don't know who's trolling. because you have to pay to troll. And like I said, man, I'm always interested in who's trolling the dedicated trolls. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, y'all. Anyway, yeah. No, I don't see nobody trolling. Who's trolling? I don't see nobody trolling. Because I love to see who the dedicated trolls are. All right. So thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure to click the subscribe button. Make sure to click the like button. That's very, very important. And we'll catch y'all definitely on